morning, Realtors. This is Nick checking in with you. It is episode number 3. Podcast these updates live almost every single week. We try to keep on the same schedule. Sometimes we deviate a little bit. Again, I'm your host, Nick Kremydas, CEO of the South Carolina Realtors. And I've got a few updates for you today, a few things that you need to know, things that are happening in the marketplace, things that are happening in South Carolina. So that's right. We do have our big annual legislative event this week, Capitol Conference. As you can see, I am sporting the purple shoes again this week. I know Mike can't scan down, but I'm actually wearing mine today. And it may be a little purple overload with the half zip I'm sporting today. So, but we're all in on purple. And if you didn't catch me last week, the purple has a deeper meaning than just the surface color. Oftentimes in politics, we dive into Democrat or Republican issues and problems and battles between the parties, and the Realtor Party is about solving those problems, is about addressing homeownership and protecting private property rights, and looking at how we can make investment in real estate an even smoother experience and allow Americans of all backgrounds to build generational wealth through real estate. So what do you get when you mix red and blue together? You get purple, and that's the meaning behind the color. Shoes are going to be And Capitol Conference is one of my favorite events of the year. Not only do we do a deep dive on our legislative advocacy and getting our members the inside information on what's happening at the State House, but it also gives us a chance to meet with our legislators during the legislative reception that we've got planned this week as well. So please come out and join us if you've registered. If you have registered and are not able to come, please let us know today. We've got a lot of members on our wait list who would love to take your spot. So we look forward to seeing all of our realtors a little bit later this week. Have you noticed, switching topics here, have you noticed that your car insurance or maybe your homeowner's insurance have spiked up in cost recently? Particularly our realtors on the coast, I know over the last year have seen dramatic increases in property insurance. And I'm not talking about flood, because that's kind of where everybody's mind goes to when you talk about increased expenses on insurance. But this is across the board, just regular homeowners insurance policies that aren't so regular anymore. We're seeing increases spike all across the board. And for our members and their small businesses, this is impacting your business insurance, liability insurance, auto insurance. We're seeing increases across the board. Our advocacy team is going to be meeting soon with the South Carolina Department of Insurance, and I'll have either Austin or Lindsay join me in a few weeks and give you an update on where we are with that and what can be done to address some of these rising insurance costs that we're seeing. In some good legal news, NAR reported last week that the Clear Cooperation lawsuit, which was filed out in California by by a private MLS a few years ago has finally been dropped. The judge actually in the case dismissed this case. Now, this was a lawsuit brought by a private MLS against NAR and some other defendants regarding NAR's clear cooperation rule. And this is a rule that requires a listing to be put into the MLS within, I believe it's 24 hours of advertising it to the public. It's a rule intended to provide transparency and openness in the marketplace. Well, this MLS had sued. The judge actually dismissed the case. I think that was almost a year ago, but gave the plaintiffs the ability to refile the case, which they did. The parties got together just in the last few weeks, and they've agreed to drop the lawsuit. And it's dropped without prejudice, which means the plaintiffs could refile in the future. We'll have to wait and see if there's any further action there. But that's some good news on the legal front. And I heard something interesting last week that I wanted to share with you. I know, we're almost at the end of January. We've got a full month of 2024 almost under our belts. And you're probably already into your business plan, your strategic plan for the year, shifting and addressing how the market is changing. Interest rates are starting to show signs of decrease, and we certainly have the Federal Reserve indicating future cuts, which should lower those rates even more as we go into the year. Inventory is starting to creep up a little bit, but still, very, very low. And a real estate trainer, I believe, said this the other day. I read this somewhere, Mike. I can't remember. I should have wrote down so I could give the appropriate site. But he was asking the agents in the room a simple question. Do you allow the market conditions to determine your outcome, or do market conditions determine your strategy? And I thought that was kind of a light bulb moment for me, and I wanted to share that with you. Do you have a bad year when the economy is performing badly or housing is performing badly? Or is that create an opportunity for you to shift your strategy to address your business plan to what's happening in the marketplace? And what's happening in the marketplace now with continued inventory and interest rates and all the other external pressures that you're dealing with, are you just waiting to let the market happen to you, or are you being proactive and addressing your business plan and your strategy based on what the market is doing? So I thought that was some good food for thought that I would share with you today. I know on a personal level, I'm fortunate to have access to a Peloton bike, and many of you know that I love to cycle. And the weather was great this weekend. I was able to get outside and bike a little bit. It's when you're on the bike, you're only thinking about two things: not getting run over by a car. Traffic can be terrible, and you're focused on the road ahead. You're looking to where you're going. And it's a good metaphor for me as I look forward to the rest of 2024, because I'm not simply here with a plan to work out the rest of the year. I'm going to outwork the rest of the year. I'm going to flip that script, and we're going to address these challenges or things that may look like challenges on the surface and turn them into real opportunities for our members in our association. We've got a very busy year ahead of us, and I can't wait to tackle all of those issues on behalf of our members. One last thing I'll say, Mike, before we wrap up, we were honored, I think I mentioned this on the last update, we were honored to be invited to North Carolina's business meetings last week. They were held in Durham, North Carolina, for all you Duke fans. Beautiful campus, but after my Gamecocks beat Kentucky last week, that's the only blue I cared about. But I can't believe we're celebrating some basketball wins, and not to mention the Lady Gamecocks, undefeated again with a relatively new team. Congratulations to all of the Gamecocks there. But we had the opportunity to meet and network and watch Tony Harrington, the president of North Carolina, get sworn in last week. It was a real honor to be there. Thank you to all our North Carolina realtors that invited us to participate. Many of you don't know, of our roughly 27,000 realtor members in South Carolina, we have more than 2,000 secondary members in the Charlotte area alone. So a lot of crossover, a lot of opportunities for partnership with our North Carolina neighbors. So with that, Mike, I'm going to wrap it up, and we're going to get ready for Capitol Conference. I hope to see you there. Have a great week, everyone, and we'll see you again real soon. Take care.